Hi, my friends and family. My name is Trey Smith, and this is my YouTube and Odyssey channel, Trey's Myths and Tunes. My daily ritual, Trey's timeless 15 minutes of explain. And today, my talk is called True Morality is Joy in a Discipline of Freedom and the Fun of the Reclamation of Christ. The second coming must happen within, babies and ladies and gentlemen. It's a Gnostic process. Whoa. Whoa. Another suburban family morning. And Daddy's just staring at the wall. This depression is coming without warning. Till he feels he can't do anything at all. Devil always stares into the distance. There's only so much more war that he can take. There's many miles away. Something moved toward the shore of the dark Scottish loch. Many miles away. Many miles away. Many miles away. Many miles away. True morality is joy. Because when you're harmless and respectful and you help others, it's fun. And you don't have to feel guilty and stupid. You don't have to talk to the archons and the ghost and the zeta idiot fourth dimensional demons, parasitic narcissistic entities who tell you you're stupid in your thoughts, and you can go, fuck you, you're idiots. You know what? I'm having fun, man. Because I'm learning how to be respectful. I'm teaching others how to be respectful. Even if I'm fucking shadow banned, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because I've learned how to be at least a modicum self-respectful, at least enough to say, look, self-respect is the way. Even if I remember some of it, I'm going to give you some of it that I learned until I can remember all of it. You know why? Because being disrespectful is the fake me. The masochism is the fake side of my Pisces rising. Okay? Remember that. The inverted, the cruelty is the fake, always. So, yeah, when I saw this man take off his mask and I really thought, wow, he's got a beautiful big Jewish nose, and I was just like, I felt so good as a freedom activist. Like, I literally helped this man get his oxygen back. I mean, those masks can reduce, I don't know how much, most of your oxygen, right? So that's the power of having the courage to speak the truth, having the courage to help somebody reclaim their morality from the slave culture, the sickos, especially somebody that is coming from that ancient that race that was the, according to Risa de Angelis, were the rulers in the age of Aries a long time ago. So from the rulers of the warrior age, that long ago, and just having the courage to, and the discernment and the listening, the open-mindedness to realize I was telling them the truth. It was such a potent moment for me right then. I was like, wow, see, the truth can actually set people free. It can bring back their oxygen, and how sick is that lies can steal it from them still to this day. 3 years into this insane war, this insane part of the war. Moral capitalism would be if your job, I mentioned Anita Morjani's story before, that's a good example of if your job is harmless and your work is fun or helpful, following your passion if it doesn't hurt yourself or anyone else, this is very important. If you could do that. Immoral capitalism is like this religion, right? You can do whatever you want, step on anybody, become a narcissist, anything, become apathetic. It creates great cognitive dissonance, incoherence, laziness, and it's ruled by greed and taking. And their god, Mammon, is this god with no head, with huge muscles, who never stops working to generate the money. The dark side has no respect or morality. It's real obvious. The rent, people told me the rent goes up every year or two here. The rent and taxes force you to be a slave for your ego and your body and the demiurge, okay? You could do what I'm doing here and risk getting a ticket or whatnot, but, because of this belief that in fact, the state of California supports their own hypocrisy by, they know that, let's say the city of Santa Cruz or their homeless services people are going to use the money they're given, most of it to pay the rent, the property tax in the building, to pay their social workers' rent and the food for their social workers' kid, and a tiny amount of it to help. And so it's just a cycle, right? It keeps it going. It's all designed that way. It's the Ouroboros of the devil, okay? The elite, it's all designed to force you to be a slave for your ego, your body, the demiurge, the elite, city managers, narcissism, all actions for the little me, or those actions are all designed to keep you stuck in the wheel, the reincarnation death trap. The moral action is the action with Christ awareness. Now, if you have children, if you have responsibility, you're in the middle of college or whatnot, and you're not going to quit, you're not going to quit paying your mortgage, we'll keep paying it. But what I'm saying is, if you have to do a 9-to-5, a slave labor job, do it with respect to yourself and others and even your narcissist boss as much as you can, because that is the key, okay? The moment you become disrespectful to any of them, you're losing, okay? Remember that now is morality. Now is real morality. When you're stuck and you're worried about your regret or your bitterness or depression from the past, or your worries, anxiety about the future, this is why I'm inclined to travel by bicycle rather than decide when I'm, or even go for. Reminds me now, something just came to me in this moment when I was 8 years old in this suburban neighborhood where they were building houses. We would build BMX tracks on these abandoned lots before they built them in the house. And my friend Will and I, we had this is a wonderful thing. I just remembered this moment. We had this intuitive practice where we would ride our bicycles and forget where we were going. And we would always end up in way cooler places. Okay? This is real morality. Real morality is when you can actually surrender to the Christ in the moment. Your worries from the past or of the future, or your regrets from the past, and all your psychic trash. This is why I say now is your responsibility, your responsible position for the full presence of Christ is now. Okay? Remember, when you're born again into full Christ awareness, it is the opposite of the normal street preacher. Okay? You're not going to condemn others. You must bring freedom to others. In other words, you're not going to belittle others and make them feel like an idiot. You're going to do things to help them remember freedom if you're truly born again. And Miles Davis said discipline is freedom, and I would add that, true freedom is the combined joy and discipline of constant service to Christ through expanding your awareness that it is very fun and exciting to wake people up to the fact that being moral is way better and superior and more fun than sin and guilt. It was only through Satan and Lucifer's masterful mind control and insane tricks and repeating the lie millions of times through their media that you believe you wanted to be selfish or miserable or abuse others, only because they had purchased the FCC when they created Hollywood, that would be something that would just be kosher with otherwise self-respecting people. No, I'm sorry, folks. Abusive psychological abuse and narcissistic predator entity personality disorders are not really helping your friends and family. Teaching them how bad a con artist can be is not really helping them. However, when you treat them and yourself with respect, you reclaim, especially if you're having fun with it, you reclaim the joy of morality and oneness. Peace and harmlessness creates most of reality. Okay? Now, yeah, this is a free will planet, so the Almighty allowed all this to occur, all this violence that occurred in the last 3 years. That was allowed. And if we have a good God, why would she or he allow that? Well, for one thing, the good side wasn't organized well enough to stop it in time, or they were afraid. Chicken. However, there's always been the white hats. There's always been the respectful people involved at every economic level, from someone in the tent to the of even maybe a few presidents and a few governors right now. And you know, there's people like Tulsi Gabbard out there in the system of capitalism who was in the Iraq War, ran for president in 2020. Of course, they were going to let her in, even though she's a sexy, attractive Hawaiian woman my age in linear years, very young for a president, with experience in war. She was not going to run the beast machine of war. She was going to be like the only other president that was like that is Jimmy Carter. He ran a submarine in World War II, I believe, or Korean War, so he was not going to do it. Okay? See? So the point is that they don't want people who know the truth and who have experience and self-respect, like Jordan Peterson, in the system. Okay? When you understand that, when you understand and you have the discernment and the self-respect within yourself, it's hard. It's hard to say no to the bribes. It's hard to say no when they trick you into through all of the benefits packages they give you, to keep your mouth shut and not have any discernment or self-respect, and all the coercion. But I know some of you know what I'm saying and how to do this better than me, of course. And we're all here to help each other on this path, on this channel, to remember the Christos, the Christ, divine, sacred, Mother, Father, Goddess Christ within our hearts. And there is where the gnosis lies. There is where the truth, the heart, as I've said, puts forth 1,000 times more electromagnetic power than your brain. Your brain's just a receiver, just a radio control set. This is why, if you're not aware of it, your ego mind can make you think you are this job, you are this place, you are this houseless guy in a tent or whatever. But your eternal soul, till you're ready to return to nirvana, your timeless present now essence of the Almighty, knows itself through its experiences, through sharing, through the joy, the remembrance of Christ. And when you remember what a great joy it is to have the respect to be moral, you're already well onto the path of the second coming and the fifth dimension, going into the fifth dimension of heart-based awareness. And this is what I wish for all of you, man. Tolerate the day, if not create a great one, my family and friends. You know I love you. And peace on earth if and when we have the courage and discipline to make it that. Many blessings and one love.